Have you eaten, though, at the same table with Ben? Because you got to protect your food. He has no problem just... and it's his restaurant. Like, he can walk back there and get whatever he wants. He's like, what'd you order? Hey guys, Alex Rich.
Ben Poremba.
Hey, we are excited to let you know that we have episodes of our podcast, Jews in the Lou, dropping every other week, and you're not going to want to miss. We have some great guests lined up.
Amazing. And while I have you, I want to thank the St. Louis Jewish Light for their incredible partnership and support of our podcast, St. Louis Jewish Light, doing amazing work for our community, keeping us informed with stories, with updates.
And visit stljewishlight.org. Subscribe to their newsletter. They'll keep you up to date on everything going on.
Absolutely. See you soon.
And you know,
that's your favorite day?
Yeah, I love confit.
have you eaten, though, at the same table with Ben? Because you got to protect your food. He has no problem just... and it's his restaurant. Like, he can walk back there and get whatever he wants. He's like, what'd you order? Let me taste that.
That looks good. But like as if you've never had it before. Oh, let me just...
What is on that?
We're all Jews here. It's okay.
Yeah, we share. We're sharing one people.
Just to let you know.
There's 3 Bens here and 1 ounce, by the way.
Yeah, you know. So, Ben's wife is Angela. My wife is Angela. So it's Ben and Angela, Ben and Angela. Angela and Angela are friends, been friends since they were little girls.
Yeah.
And we've hung out, we've had, lunch together, brunch together, And we've always wanted to do a podcast called All About the Benjamins.
Yes.
I love it.
When we talk about sports, we talk about food.
I think it'd be great.
I can pick his brain about food.
Sure.
And if you want, you pick my brain about basketball.
You're going to talk about food and I'm going to talk about...
Oh, I just talk about food.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
So finally, we're sitting down, getting recorded. Mm-hmm. So this is also a test for us.
Yeah, this is our first practice.
No, it could be all about the Benjamin plus.
Or I just could leave and it could just be all about the Benjamins.
Yeah, there's the pilot episode.
What's
Anyway,
your middle name?
you are already sitting...
Charles. But we got the ABCs covered with that.
There you go.
Alex, Charles, Benjamins.
You might need to change the name, though, because
now.
isn't that a P. Diddy song?
Which one?
All About the Benjamins?
Oh, boy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We're out.
All right, well, this is over. No, that's funny.
That's good.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking out for us. Yeah.
100%.
I don't want to sound like a redundant
but
broken record, but I want Ben Hillman, who's already sitting down with us in one of those, to tell Ben Hochman or Hochman?
Hawk. Yeah, Hawk.
Hochman. Hochman.
You got a hawk to say hawk.
Yeah.
Hochman.
He's the original Hawk, too.
Yeah. I just read she's bankrupt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Ain't that a shame?
She made tons of money. She even had a coin or like an NFT, and now it's all busted. It's just...
the fall is always faster than the come up, you know?
Yeah. But anyway, tell them why are we doing this?
Just Jews hanging out.
That's right.
I learned this morning that we're doing this to sit down and have conversations with Jewish people from all over St. Louis.
Okay. Clayton and Ladue?
Yeah, exactly. Across the 170 line.
Yeah.
But really just to spark conversation around being Jewish and with people that are part of the community and centered around the holidays with Hanukkah coming up.
Yes.
I'm glad that...
He's the natural. Ben Hillman.
Really are. You a good listener.
Ben H and Ben H.
That's right.
Stop. We can't have any more similarities. Now we're never going to know.
BH is Be'ezrat Hashem.
Tell us.
With God's help, that's what every Jew should write. Every time they write something, they'll put BH.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You guys get God's help every day then, I guess.
Yeah.
Should you I actually have an embarrassing story about me, not you.
Yeah.
Involving Maxine.
Clark?
Yeah.
Okay, what about Maxine?
She's also Jewish.
I know, yeah.
So this is relevant.
She's a good
this is
yours or mine?
Yours.
Does it matter? You drink it anyway.
So I know Maxine Clark. Everyone knows Maxine Clark. I know her from some stuff. And I've met her husband once or twice. And it's always at a loud place. He's like, hey, I'm Bob. Hey, Bob. Okay. There's a new library across from Plaza Frontenac called the Clark Family Branch.
Yeah.
And I heard that Bob Clark put the money down, and that's why it's a Clark Family Branch. I see Maxine Clark and her husband Bob at an event, and I go, hey, Bob, how's the library business? And he goes, what are you talking about? The library! And I turn to Seinfeld, the library!
Right.
Clark Branch!
Right.
He's like, I'm Bob Fox. you're thinking of Bob Clark from Clayco. I just assumed that Maxine Clark's husband was Bob Clark, but it wasn't, and I completely embarrassed myself.
I
You made an
guarantee-
ass of you.
That's
and
not the first time he's gotten
Not the
that.
first time.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was, and Daniel Bogart, my good friend and rabbi at CRC, was right next to me and watched me embarrass myself in front of all these people.
It
So
happens.
this story is probably gonna have to get cut off the camera.
Oh.
Because poor Bob Fox suffered a stroke, and
Are you serious?
yeah, and he's just
2
back
weeks
home,
ago.
and
Gosh, dog.
he's recovering, and we wish him all the best. And
Oh my gosh,
they're
I did
very,
not
very
know that.
good.
No, but that's all right.
It is a good
Trust me.
story, though.
It is a good
It's a
story.
great story.
It is a good story for sure. But no, we wanted to celebrate Hanukkah with Jewish people in St. Louis, like Ben said.
Yeah.
And so,
I just went to the Hanukkah Hullabaloo.
right, how was it?
It
What was that? How come
The
I don't know?
Lazaroff brothers, right?
How come I don't get invited to those things?
There is a section in the
I'd like to
Grand
think of
Ole.
myself as a loud Jew in St. Louis. A loud Jew
You
in the
can
Loop.
think of yourself that way for sure. Yeah, we just got to get everybody else to think of you that way.
Hanukkah Hullabaloo. There's a section up there that a VIP, I guess VIJ,
Okay.
very very important Jew, and it's unlimited free latkes.
Is this they really did this?
Yeah.
It's a true event.
Saturday
Where
night.
is it?
At the Grand, is it Grand Ole? Am I pronouncing
Yeah,
it?
Grand
Ole.
Grand Ole, yeah.
I
You
had no
said
idea.
Grand Ole, I said
What
Grand
the
Ole.
fuck? I had no idea.
Was the VIP section called the VIJ?
No, but it should have been.
It should have been.
Yeah,
Sure.
That missed opportunity.
Unlimited
Yeah.
latkes?
yeah.
I wasn't
well,
there.
at our
And the
party
music's
here
great.
on the 29th, we're throwing a party here. There's going to be unlimited latkes.
I like that. Yeah. We're going to go all in.
I'm gonna one up everyone else.
There's nothing better than a latke.
We didn't ask you this
Hey,
earlier,
what do you
but
do with a latke? What
sour cream or applesauce on the latke? Are you an applesauce or sour cream on your latke guy? You are both.
Both is
Both.
good.
I do
What do you mean
both
both?
as well.
You mix them together?
Just like, or I'll dip it in one and the other.
No,
with
no.
my
Ben,
hand.
I agree with him.
Hillman and I are on the same page.
Well, you can come to my party.
Fuck
I
the
appreciate it.
applesauce. You do the sour cream and you make sure you have caviar to top it off. Right?
You add a little saltiness. It's one of the best bites in the world. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you do caviar?
I don't do caviar, but now that these are two food guys telling me that that's good on the latke, so I guess I have to take your word for it, right?
And outside of latkes, you got me on the potato chip.
Potato chip.
The Torres potato
Yeah,
chips.
that's great, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
You guys, I can't imagine the conversations that go on food wise between you two. Who do you cook up? Like, what's Hanukkah look like in your guys' household?
Well, we've got a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I'm just really, it just comes down to making sure the house doesn't burn down. Like, making sure no young kid knocks over the shamus and the house catches on fire. That's the goal of Hanukkah. Yeah, there's
You light up
gelatin,
candles?
dreidels. Oh yeah, I mean yeah, we do the candles for sure.
It's a big thing though. Every
Yeah.
night the
You
family
see,
gets
the
together.
thing
to do
Oh
candles.
yeah.
My neighbors, my next door neighbors, are my parents. We share a driveway.
Okay,
And
that might be just stopping right there. That might just be one of the most Jewish things I've heard.
He
all
has
day.
a kibbutz in
Yeah,
front.
I have a kibbutz in front of me. Ben's been there. You haven't been there.
I haven't been invited.
It's a compound.
Okay,
It's a But you see, at my mother's house, it's Hanukkah every day. My mom cooks all day long, bakes, cooks. I can't even describe it to you. When I say this to people, they ha about it.
Sure.
But there isn't a time a day that there is no cooking taking place.
Yeah.
I mean, it's non-stop. And so my mom does a big thing. She does donuts, and she,
What's the address?
yeah. The funny thing is that she constantly complained to me about how out of shape I am and how
Yeah.
my gut's starting to look like. And then in the same breath, she says, "But taste this."
so this is a
Right.
Jewish mother
every day,
thing, right?
Every day she'll tell me that this is the best cookie she's ever. Oh, the batch this morning is unbelievable.
Mhm.
Try it. I'm like,
100%.
I'm trying to lose weight. No. You have to try it.
Yes.
So
Yes, I'm the same way. My mom's always, when are you going to start working out again? Oh, eat this, take this.
Right.
I feel like it's a Jewish mother thing when you go. This has become more of a thing because my fiance is not Jewish, but every time we go to my parents' house, my mom, every time we leave, tries to gift her something that she no longer wants anymore or doesn't fit, or maybe she bought something and doesn't want to return it. Is this like a thing? Or she'll take snacks out of the pantry and say like pack a bag and like leave with this. Do you feel like this is a Jewish mother thing?
100%. 100%.
Yes.
I'm not the only one, and I try to explain that to people, but it's I don't feel like you could truly understand unless you like understand the culture. We talked about we sat with Michael Steinberg and we talked about giving back and how that's like a big part of what we want to do with the Jewish community is giving back.
But what we talked
We are
about,
all Jewish mothers.
Yeah.
We are
all Jewish mothers.
yeah.
Ugly group of Jewish mothers. Let me tell you, that's
You were about to
hilarious.
say something.
No, I was just gonna say that the greatest gift you can get is the ability to give. You know, that's what we talked with Michael. But yeah, for me, the Jewish mother or the Jewish grandmother is the biggest moral compass that I can have. Is I want to be that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm informed by what their decision making, by their bluntness, but their, but they sort of unconditional. They're always striving, unconditional pursuit of like truth and goodness, right? Even to a point where it's the most annoying thing, or it's the most. It's not the right time or the right place. They're just gonna make you do certain things that are good for you.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is your mom taught you about hospitality?
Oh wow, that's huge.
I'm a German.
My mom
That's
didn't
a
have to
question.
turn. The thing about teaching, my mom didn't teach me about hospitality.
It's never through.
She just did hospitality. But I tell people I started restaurants not because I like to cook, and not because I like to eat. I mean, I like to eat and I like to cook. As a kid, to this day, my parents just moved back to St. Louis not that long ago. Their circle of friends, their social life is unbelievable. They have guests almost every single night. My kids are like, "What is it with grandma and grandpa?"
Yeah.
They call them Saba and Sapta. There's cars in our driveway all the time. They are
The neighbors either think you're drug dealers or swingers.
The
Yeah.
most exactly. My parents are the most consummate hosts there are. I mean, and that's what informed everything about my career is how my parents, what they do, how much time they take, details about the different plates and the napkins and the flowers and just constantly hosting. And so that's a blessing, man. Like to have that. That's how my mom taught me about hospitality, no doubt.
She did a good job.
He's done all right in the hospitality game, right? I would say.
Fault.
Too good.
Too good.
Too good.
You're a writer. You write. You ask questions. If you were to put a Yiddish term into an article you're going to write about, I don't know, doesn't need to be a specific sport or anything.
Sure,
What are you
sure.
going with, and how are you working it in?
I think over the years, and I know I've weaved in a few oy veys into stories.
In actual writing.
Yeah. As a sports columnist with the Post-Dispatch now, I used to be at the Denver Post. We had kind of freedom to kind of try some things, do some things. So yeah, I put in some oy veys. I think I did a whole and I don't even know if I did Meshuggah. Meshuggah, am I pronouncing it correctly? I remember having to Google it on deadline to get it right.
So Hochman, what fascinates me? I'm a basketball fan. I'm a boxing fan. I'm not much of a baseball fan, but there is something about sports writing and sports commentary and Jewish people.
Sure, well, it's very simple, Ben.
Tell me,
We all love sports, but we're not good. We all love sports, but we're not good at them. So what's the next best way to get involved? Either own the team, you're an agent, or you're a sports fan. I don't know. I mean, I will. I mean, my parents are English teachers, so similarly,
writing,
hospitality. It just kind of was washed over me, just like soaked into me. This love of writing.
Outside of you know who's my favorite sports commentator?
Let's hear it.
Is Max Kellerman. Another great Jew who does mostly boxing, but also baseball. Just a super all-rounded guy. I mean,
he was the original Around the Horn host before Tony Real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What perspective do we bring though to the game?
Well,
To any
that's
game?
a great question because it's a great question that I don't have the answer to, though I've thought about it a lot. A lot of sports writers come from the New York area. Well, where do a lot of us come from? The New York area. And I guess there really is, like I always say, like sports writer, it's my two favorite things, sports and writing. It's the name of my job.
Yeah.
It would be as if there was a job called pastrami sandwich eating Will Ferrell movie watcher. If that was a profession, we would want to do that job.
right.
Well, I got sports writing.
Life would be pretty good if you could make a living doing that.
Right.
Oh, man. It's well said.
We just interviewed Coach Josh Schertz.
Oh, yeah.
From the Billikens, and he was talking about team sport, and literally the way he described team sport and coaching a team sport was like an analogy to Jewish life.
He was describing being Jewish, for
He was
sure.
describing being Jewish, about the fact that people come from different backgrounds, people come from different socioeconomic, places, but they have shared goals. They have to learn how to get along, and they have to perform in concert
And have each other's back.
and have each other's back.
Right.
And so, I don't know.
That's cool.
I like. I'm fascinated by the fact that there's so much Jewish so many Jewish commentators in sports.
No question. And I love public speaking. I'm like the one weirdo that likes to speak to people because you get to envision everyone naked. What a neat experience.
You don't have to stand in front of people to do that,
You like to go speak at old Spence clubs?
Come on, but I do a thing about Sandy Koufax, and the one of us that actually was good at sports.
Yeah.
And I just love talking about the Jewish culture and just how much sports plays into it. And I think Koufax is the one that every Jewish person, whether you're 90 or 20, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's our guy, Sandy. And there's a reason, of course, you don't work on Yom Kippur.
It's fair. What is like a one Jewish cultural, I guess, thing that you would want other people to know?
You mean the readers or society?
Just in general, it's the community, society, or the readers. I mean, just in general, if there's one thing that you could leave people with new knowledge of Jewish people that they may not have known before.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're going to be serious, the one thing I want all of America to know is that Dr. Brown's is better than Dr. Pepper. And they're both...
But that's fact. That's science.
To us...
Yeah.
That's stating the obvious.
To us, the four of us, and maybe, Schwartz and Stein over there, but to the masses, it's all about Dr. Pepper, but...
You think you could pull off a whole column on that?
No, I don't think there's any way possible. However, I can, on my spare time, I could lead the charge. Because they even have the drink that has the celery in it, and it's good.
Oh,
right?
yeah, it's the best. The celery
It is good.
I mean, that's how brilliant this doctor is.
Great. That's great.
Dr. Brown. Where did he go to school, by the way? Where did he go to medical school?
Dr. Brown?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear something about delis? In my research to open this place,
Sure.
that's just gonna, it summarizes like Jewish American life. Oh, there we go.
Hey! And here's the
This is
celery one.
Celery Ray.
Let me try the celery.
There's the root beer, of
Have you had
course.
the celery?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Is it pretty good?
It's almost like, real quick,
I've never tried it.
They
I'm gonna-
challenge.
So,
He's
you
like, I
gotta
can do
hear
everything.
this. So-
Like the celery.
I was visiting different delis all around the country.
Yeah, yeah.
Delis are dying.
That's pretty unbelievable.
Like,
I've never had that.
And it's vegetables. You just had some vegetables.
And so, Jewish delis are dying
Forget that.
all around the country. And part of the reason is, and that's an answer I got when I was in Detroit visiting a famous Jewish deli there. It's one of the best explanations I heard about why Jewish delis didn't make it. When Jews immigrated to this country, many of them, food was like any other immigrant group, food was the thing that they could make a living off of. But the people who opened delis didn't necessarily want their kids to inherit a deli. So they didn't really want to make the deli successful, if that makes any sense. They wanted to make the deli successful enough for the interim period. This is why service sucked at every deli. They're not known for cleanliness.
We're growing too fast. I don't want my kid to take over.
Right.
Yeah, we're they're not very clean. They were just good enough as an interim period because these people who open up the delis wanted their kids to become lawyers and doctors and do good in life. So they didn't want the delis to do so well where the kids saying, screw that, I'm not going to medical school, I'm going to take over mom and dad and be a deli owner. And it's actually a pretty incredible reason. Like intentionally making your business inefficient, dirty, and have, bad customer service. So people still come to it, but don't come to it often enough to make it so good.
Well, they did that. They sacrificed so they didn't have to live the lives that you and I live and grind out a living trying to sell a little food.
Isn't it something?
Yeah, you guys chose the other
We're doing
path.
too well.
You guys
You're doing
chose
too
the
nice.
path.
No, but
the
I
other way.
think about it right now. It's like obviously I want my business to be successful, not to win. But when my kids show any interest in this world, and I say, "Fuck no, you're not getting into this business. Absolutely not. You're gonna go do other things. You're gonna do big things."
Yeah.
I tried to get out of the business, and the tipping point for me was I was working in the kitchen in a pizza place in Denver, and I cut my fingertip off. And I went to urgent care, and I texted my parents. I was like, "Hey, just so you know, this happened. No big deal." And my dad's text back was, "I think it's time you try something new."
Wow, that was his moment.
And I did, and it only took about a year for me to find myself back.
My son, who's 12, getting bar mitzvah this year.
Nice.
All of a sudden, he has very big Jewish consciousness about him. He wants to know more. He's learning. All of a sudden, he's interested in food. Like not in cooking, but he was a terrible eater as a kid. He made my life hell. But I think it was like all those, nights where he didn't see me because I was in the restaurant. But now he's very, very interested in food. So they come to ask us, and he orders branzino, and he orders all these, things. And, he'll bring his friend with him. So you got to try the duck sausage and shit like that. All of a sudden, it's Mr. Foodie. But he was there for his birthday in July. We did a little thing for him. And completely unsolicited, a customer walked up to me and said, "You don't know me, but I want to give you a hug." And they just gave me the biggest hug and said, "We had the most wonderful time here, and you've made our night, and this is my..." And my son looked at me and said, "Now I understand why you do this."
Yeah.
He didn't say it in those words, but he looked at me and goes, I get it. That's why you do this. 100%. It's a bug. You're addicted to the
But it's the Jewish hospitality you were raised with.
gratification,
Yeah.
So,
But you're talking about a bar mitzvah. I'll get to less serious stuff with Hochman here. You got a bar mitzvah?
Oh, May 8th, 1993.
Oh, wow, he remembers the date.
That's pretty good.
I put it on YouTube. It was my first published joke. I chugged the wine.
That's awesome.
Big moment.
I love it.
That is when he became a man.
Hadn't even
Why are
heard the
more
story
kids
yet.
doing that?
Seriously.
Yeah.
All right, so was there a theme for yours?
No, so
He chugged the wine.
That was the theme.
yeah, the only thing that was themey was that we had a T-shirt made that said "Great Moments in American History," and it was like the Revolutionary War, freeing the slaves, whatever it was, and walking on the moon. And then May 8th, 1993, Benjamin Hochman,
Benjamin's bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but you saw the Adam Sandler movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then his daughter's talking about themes, and he's like, when I was a kid, the theme of my bar mitzvah was being Jewish.
Well, that's a thing. Like, I think we talked about how it's kind of generational, right? Like,
Right.
nowadays, you're planning a kid's bar bat mitzvah, and, like, thinking of the theme is a big thing. Like, did you guys watch that show on Netflix?
Yeah.
Nobody Wants This.
Of course, yeah.
Right? You got the shiksa and the rabbi and everything, and they're talking about her. I'm saying.
I didn't like that
I'm
movie.
saying shiksa loud in the deli.
I did not like that.
You didn't like the show?
I watched the whole thing. I didn't like it at all.
They talk about coming up with a theme there, and she's like, the theme doesn't really matter.
You liked it?
I liked the show, but
I
some
didn't like
people
the show.
didn't. I thought it was.
I think
I thought the mother was a little similar to mine.
For real?
Yeah, it's kind of like when people come over and it's like she completely turns on, like, oh, you could do whatever you want on my countertops. And then, like, if you need to cut directly on the countertop, like, go ahead, please. And then, like, everybody leaves. It's like, don't fucking touch my countertops.
I was going to say,
Immediately
I've met your mom. She's the sweetest woman ever.
Well, until you try to touch her
I
countertops.
think it stigmatized the Jewish family a little bit.
I definitely.
It bothered me.
Yeah. I see
It's like that. You see, we're doing this so people don't think of us
Sure.
as, don't put us in a box and say, oh, here is a prototypical Jewish mother. Here is a papa. And that show really completely like done that. Like, yes, that's the Jewish mom. That's the rabbi. He's dating chicks. They're phony. I didn't like the show at all.
Was there a show that you did like over the years that had a Jewish family or a Jewish main
I love
character?
The Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Yeah.
Great show.
Great show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are many of them.
Yeah. That's one that comes to mind too. I love that show. And then,
Yeah, you heard of Seinfeld?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. I remember Jake Steinfeld, that body by Jake. But I've never heard of Seinfeld.
What were you going to say?
No, I enjoyed the show, but I think that
exactly.
It emphasized all the negative
All
traits of a
negative
Jewish family.
Right.
But it was entertaining.
No, I think that's...
You know about Seinfeld? That was my train of thought. But
Well, I'll tell you, I almost got to meet him, and I was
Jerry?
Yeah, I was like,
do you find him funny?
do I find him funny?
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't think
he's funny.
I think he's probably the funniest human. Him
No,
and
I
Larry
think
David.
he's Larry
The
David.
funniest?
Larry David is very
Mount
funny.
Rushmore, yeah. Oh, but that's interesting too. So Larry's very funny, but Jerry's not.
Jerry's not.
Yeah.
I think
know.
Jerry's stand-up is not funny.
I think Jerry's
the
more
show
of a
is
naturally
brilliant.
funny. Yeah.
The show is brilliant, and his character is great. It's not. I didn't laugh at Jerry. I laughed at George.
Sure.
I of course laughed at
Kramer.
I would agree with that. I would say
and-
Jerry's one of the
and
least favorite.
He's
Least funny on
least
that
funny
show.
on that show. He's a vehicle. He's like a midwife to funniness. You know what I mean? he sets you up to be funny.
Yeah.
But he himself is not funny.
But
Is that fair statement?
he's like John Stockton in the comedy.
Yeah,
where he
just
throw you
dishing
the
them out.
lob.
Right.
Is that a
He's
good?
got
I mean,
short
you're the
shorts.
Well,
sports
I mean,
guy.
except, I mean, that's a great comparison. I was thinking point guard. I was thinking Magic Johnson.
Sure.
You know, behind the back and everything. Here you go, Elaine. Here you go, Kramer.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jerry Seinfeld's pretty darn funny, in my opinion, on his own. Even just when he's talking about the Olympics, and he's talking about or Halloween. He just takes these random, regular things and makes it funny. He's like Halloween, like trying to explain it to a kid.
You see Ben Hochman's like he didn't say Halloween. Did you hear it?
Who?
Ben just
Halloween.
What does he say?
he just said Halloween. Didn't
Oh,
he?
Halloween.
You throw the ha
Yeah,
into
about
everything with
that
an
holiday
H.
where you
He
pass out
throws the
the
ha in everything.
holidays.
Any chance he can get, he's like, I'm talking it.
He's leaning into it.
He's leaning in hard. You are.
What can I say? No, but he says about Halloween, he's like you're trying to explain it to a kid. It's like everything's based around candy when you're a kid. And you tell them there's a holiday where you get free candy, they're like, what do I have to do? I can wear that.
Yeah.
Like that's all, I love that.
That's
stuff
good.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But Larry David is like
Genius.
iconic.
Yeah.
This is Jewish humor. You know, there's books upon books that talk about the history of stand-up comedy, the history of just American humor, and how it dates back to vaudeville and to actually lived experiences of Jews. There is a reason why so many Jews became stand-up comedian. Jerry Lewis, Jerry Seinfeld, a real history. And it has to do with taking lived experience that usually are not great,
Right.
and taking them very lightly, or just squeezing whatever goodness you can find out of it.
Yeah.
It's a sort of
Mechanism?
a mechanism to deal with hardship and desperation.
Because it is real. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all real.
Yeah.
But
And then passed down. So if you've got a great grandfather who survived the Holocaust and he lived in hell, made it through, and now he has this like sense of humor, like you were kind of saying, like
Yeah.
maybe because of
I
the
mean, can I
experience.
tell you a terrible
passed
joke?
down.
It's one of the most horrific jokes that my father was born in Germany right after the war to Holocaust surviving parents, my entire family, and we had an uncle that told horrific jokes, and he was telling the joke about two Jewish guys, both perished in the camps, and they're in heaven, and they're sitting on a bench, and they are laughing their asses off. Just laughing their asses off. The one guy call him Mordecai, and the other guy is Jerry. And Mordecai goes to Jerry and says, Jerry, you know, you actually didn't die in the gas chambers. You died because when the commandante dragged you, you fell and broke your skull and got to die before you even entered the chambers. And they're laughing their asses off. And God walks by and says, I don't understand how the two of you are laughing about such serious things. This was no joke. And they both put their arms around God and tell him, it's okay, God and you. You weren't there. You don't know anything about it. I mean, that's the example of like, how do you laugh about those things?
Right.
Yeah.
They embraced God and told him, you weren't there. It's okay.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about it. So, to me, that's like the essence of like, it's you know, being very, very optimistic even in the most dreadful
Hard
of
times.
Well,
And then it's passed down.
I was
to generations.
I was going to ask you that question. Do you think Jews inherently are optimistic?
They have to be. There is no other mode. There are, you know. So somebody else told me this is another joke. I'm not known for being a jokester, but
Today you are.
He is. He's on fire.
Yeah.
definition of a Jewish pessimist is what? It couldn't get worse. Definition of a Jewish optimist. Yes, it can. So there you have it.
Oh, man.
There is no other. If we don't have optimism, we cease to exist.
So what do you think it is about Jews and complaining? Because I was on a Jewish softball team in Denver, and I'm on the phone with my buddy who's a Gentile, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm going to play in this softball game. It's a Jewish softball league." And he goes, "What do you guys do? Just 12 Jews sitting in a circle complaining?"
I mean,
Yeah, we do complain.
Yeah.
Because
But we're
this-
optimistic.
Yeah, we're optimistic. I think the complaining part is, and I think Scott Rosenbluth said it best. He said, "We don't accept dogma. We keep questioning the given,
Yeah.
the taken for granted, the obvious. We keep questioning it,
Yeah.
and that's the complaining part of it. Like, is it good? Well, no, it could be better.
but also part of that is striving for better and striving for greatness all the time. And
yeah.
because you in a way, you start out with a disadvantage
Yeah.
in the public eye at times, right?
Sure.
You're kind of looked at as like you're in the sports world. It's like, oh, well, this guy's a Jewish guy, so like it's assumed maybe he doesn't know or he's not that good at sports or he didn't play sports growing up. It's like you're already kind of fighting back every
Yeah,
time.
maybe. Here's the thing to me that happens this year is I am okay with, not only okay, actually, I'm fully now in ambassadorship mode of my Jewish identity and the successes and the triumph of the Jewish community here and everywhere else. It's okay to say, look at us. We're a tiny fucking minority. We make a lot of noise, and there is something about our community that gives us a drive like no other people's in the world. There's a reason why we survive. There's a reason why we do okay. There's a reason why we are less than 1% of world population, but over 40% of Nobel Prize winners. There is a reason, and I'm okay with getting behind it.
Right.
And not like constantly try to be, this kind of like, if somebody call me arrogant about it, it's okay, but I'm okay with it.
I think
especially this year.
I think it's called pride.
Pride, for sure.
Pride, yeah, exactly. That's what it's called. It's pride. So, anyway, what kind of a Hanukkah guy are you? H or CH? How do you
H
spell
for
Hanukkah?
sure.
Yeah.
Who spells it with a CH?
This guy.
It depends on sometimes. I'm just kind of.
He's backing
This
down
is
now.
shit.
Yeah.
That's like potato with the OE.
Have you ever seen the Smokey Robinson video?
No. Wait, yes. It's a cameo or something.
Well, yeah, and he says Happy Chanukah. He says, I don't know what the hell Chanukah is, but Happy Chanukah.
Every time you do this, like your entire face, like you're embodying smoking.
I'm trying to get my inner smoky.
You got your inner smoking.
I can see it.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
Is it?
Yeah, you just.
I appreciate
I
that.
got a sweatshirt that I wear on Hanukkah, and it's the Chronic cover of the rap album, The Chronic, but it says Dr. Dreidel.
Wow, I have one that says Baruch Atah, I'm high.
Which he's not lying.
Well, sure, you know.
He was wearing
Of course, it's Hanukkah.
Depends on the time of day.
Amazing.
Hey, can I ask you a resume question? Did you ever write about the 2009 Maccabee games in the baseball team?
No, tell me.
You were on that team?
No, but he was.
I was.
I didn't know that.
I played Maccabi for 5 years. I'm actually now the St. Louis boys baseball Maccabi 14 and under coach.
Really?
This guy's like the champion for Jewish baseball in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, well that's really cool.
Yeah, you know, I tried to. There's a few of us, right? You know, it's like the selection. Well, we do the Maccabi games, right? And
Who's the few?
the few
Just
good men. No, the few. I coach with my cousin, but when you're picking from only Jewish athletes, right? In St. Louis, the pool is smaller. So any chance I can get to be a part of a team that building together and bringing all those Jewish youth together, then I think that it's a cool thing to be a part of. And so I've done it for the past, this will be my 4th year now coaching. I played for 5 years, but it's a great time. And it's like some of these kids, like, you know, really look forward to every year being a part of. You go and you're
Is there real competition?
It is. I mean, some of these teams, like, they're playing all year round, right? I mean,
Really?
like, you wouldn't believe Toronto they just have Toronto as the team. So you imagine how big Toronto is. People are coming from all over. They have like 250 people that go try out. We have like 20, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad that we have at least the 20 that come try out, right?
Yeah.
But certainly the competition outside of just St. Louis, it is there. It's just a matter of, you know, it's honestly just a select few. But it's great. I mean,
But you were a good baseball player. He played.
I backed up Kyle Schwarber at Indiana. Yeah.
Really? I did not know that.
Kyle Schwarber's backup. That's my claim to fame.
Come on, that's really cool. Yeah.
He saw a lot of home runs.
I saw a lot of home runs. There was actually, I got a Kyle Schwarber story now that we're here sitting with you. But we were on the road playing against Michigan, and one of the games got canceled, I guess, Friday. So Saturday, we went out to play a doubleheader. Schwarber and I were rooming together on the road on that road trip. And per diem, you know, when you're Kyle Schwarber and, like, I'm just like the bullpen catcher, right? I'm getting like $20. He's getting like $85 a day. So we get pizzas and everything.
That explains a lot of
100%. So we get pizzas, we're chilling in the room, we're hanging out till late, man. Like 3 o'clock in the morning, Schwarber like falls asleep with like a dip in his mouth, and you know, we get up, we got to be at the field like 8 a.m. the next day. So I'm like struggling to like go down to the bullpen and even warm people up. Like I'm trying to stay alive for the day. Both games were on like ESPN this day. Schwarber goes out there, hits literally 3 home runs. And I'm fighting for my life, and I'm like, there is the difference between like a normal person and like a future Hall of Fame Major League Baseball player. You know what I mean?
Sports writer in Denver, and I would cover Allen Iverson. And you hear the stories from him or from others about what they did the night before. The fact that this person is even standing up straight,
it's unbelievable.
let alone scoring 30.
You ask any NBA player from that era, and they say, who was the one person that you could walk in a room with and you knew he was him? They don't say Kobe.
Right.
They say AI.
AI.
I met him in St. Louis last year. It was
at the
dispensary?
Yeah. And he walked in an hour late, and the whole room just like
you could feel the shift.
It was unreal.
He's my son's favorite player.
He's amazing.
And your son is 12.
Well,
so he was never in the NBA.
He never was on.
Wow, that's incredible.
Unbelievable.
But Omi's got you've talked to Omi basketball.
Yeah.
Omi's got a phenomenal memory, so he goes back and watches old videos.
I'll tell you this one real quick. You're talking about being on a Jewish softball team. I was on one, and our rabbi was on the team, and we were playing a pretty intense game. I was center field. I was I played and started in high school baseball, but like if they could have batted me 10th, they would have. And there was a shallow fly ball. I'm in center. I mean, in my eyes, I was Superman, soaring toward the ball, and I hit my glove. It bounces out and comes back in. I swear, I caught it. And the umpire's like, "It's a hit! It's a hit!" It's the one umpire behind home plate.
Sure.
Can't see anything. And I just run in. I go, "I swear to God, I caught that ball!" And I wouldn't just say that. The shortstop's my rabbi.
So what was the call?
The umpire was in over his head. He's like, "I don't know, man. I think it hit the ground." I'm like, "Why would I lie about this?"
Was that in Denver?
It was in Denver.
I wonder if it's the same league that I played in.
I mean, it has to be.
What
It has
field?
to be.
Yeah, what fields?
Like
do you
the
guys-
Kennedy Field.
Hilarious.
Yeah. I when you.
What
I didn't
year
know if
was
we're doing
this?
two inside softball here, but yeah. I mean, I was there from 07 to 15.
Okay, so we would have overlapped. I played in that league in 2014.
So you probably know about this great controversy that occurred that almost split the Denver Jewish community.
What was that?
One of the teams had it wasn't like you. They had access to Kyle Schwarber basically.
Yeah.
Because not literally Kyle Schwarber, but this guy of great talent.
A ringer.
A ringer, but he was engaged or dating or married. He's in a serious relationship with a Jewish girl. He must have been married.
He was a Jew by association.
By association, and they bring him out. He hits 5 home runs, like Darryl Strawberry in the softball game on The Simpsons. And they're like, "Is this guy even Jewish?" And he's like, "They're like, no, but his wife is."
That might die for it.
This one did?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're good.
We're doing one more.